Welcome to this week's edition of The Passion of the Digital Artist. And here he is, that passionate artist, the Renoir of rendering, Jeff Mueller.
Woo! Hey, Xavier.
Hey, Jeff, how's it going?
It's going great. How about yourself?
Fantastic. Just sitting here kicking back, relaxing, enjoying one of our favorite beverages, and life is good.
Oh, yes. Life is good, and pretty much we've been away for a while.
Just a while.
And a lot has happened, but what's happened is the deadline's over. How close I was to burnout is over. I'm relaxed. Are you relaxed, Xavier?
If I were any more relaxed, I'd be unconscious.
Well, don't go unconscious on me. All right. So, what it comes down to this week is Away is finished. It's printed. It's not been painted yet. I've got the 3 canvases, Away, Cape Cod Magic, and Serene Merino. And they've been printed, and you can see in back of me, Cape Cod, in back of me, Away is finished, and it's right up there. We'll talk about that in a couple minutes. But there's a couple of things I want to talk about before that. The first thing is I'm working on Far. I'm working on that one, and we'll go in and take a look at that. You can see how far I am with that. The painting now no longer has a canvas deadline, and I'll finish Far, and then the next painting after that is Set Up. I haven't named that one yet, but that painting's set up. I want to finish those by the end of the year.
Pretty aggressive schedule.
And then work on getting them printed once I'm finished with those. But painting sand is so much easier than painting grass. But the detail that happened in Away it's just amazing, and we'll cover that. But I want to cover a couple things. The last couple weeks I've been just casually painting on Far, and my life has changed a little bit. I've been relaxed. Now I want to finish the next 2 paintings, and then once I finish them, I'm going to take the 6 months after that I will paint on them with acrylics and start to work hard and heavy on promoting my internet presence, and then also promoting getting shows for, and the greatest thing about this is as we go along, you get to see this as a viewer, how a series evolves. And when I first started, it was called my Cape Cod series. But the other day I'm sitting there, and all the Cape Cod series images have skies in them. So it's the Cape Cod High Sky series now. So I changed that. And what's unique about doing this video blog is you're seeing the process an artist goes through to create not only the paintings, but in his mind, how he makes the puzzle pieces of everything fit together. When I first started out, the Cape Cod series, yes, that's great. But now that I've added Cape Cod High Sky, it kind of changes the whole feel of everything. It kind of accentuates what's going on in each painting when you add in High Sky. And it's very, very, very important that when you're doing something like this, that you go through this process. And I'm happy that for all the people that watch the video blog and the new people that watch the video blog, that they can actually get to see this and then hopefully apply it to what they're doing. Because from all the research that I've done and everything that I'm going through, I really believe that naming your series and naming your paintings is just as important as the artwork as itself, because it sets it apart from what other people do and its uniqueness. The most disappointing thing to me right now is to see a beautiful painting and it's untitled. It's like it was an artist maybe who they don't even know, and they found this artwork and they think it's good. So this person did the artwork and took the time to create something special that eventually gets noticed, even after maybe they passed on. But because they didn't name it or promote it or do the things that you need to do as an artist, it's called untitled, an artist unknown. And that is depressing to me, because you've got this beautiful piece of art and nobody knows who did it or what it's called. So you really, really got to put that on there, because you never know what's going to happen. I mean, all of us strive for fame, fortune, whatever, while we're alive. But at the same time, the greatest artists, some of the greatest artists on earth, didn't get to embellish their success or be a part of their success, but yet their success and their artwork lives on, and their mark is put on the planet and lives. And that is one thing that we all can do as artists. And so you got to name it. You got to come up with different type marketing kind of things to make what you're doing be able to succeed you. So that's what I wanted to cover today. So let's go right on to the Cape Cod. Let's go on to Away. So,
Away of the Cape Cod High Sky series.
Yes, it's Away of the Cape Cod High Sky series. So what was amazing to me is when you work on something, the time that I put in, I've got probably about 100 hours in 1 month on this particular painting.
Huh.
And 80 hours was spent in the grass. Now, it's not how I started out this process. This process with what I was doing, using my Kodak camera that you're seeing this video on. And what I was trying to do with the social media series, I was trying to condense the time to create paintings. And I was very successful with that. But in this case, the way that these paintings, the Cape Cod High Sky series, I wasn't as concerned about condensing the time. I wanted to get the realism and the reality of the image portrayed through the digital process. Now, I don't know if you could see it through the camera, but every single individual blade of grass.
We're going to do some poor man's zoom here.
And it works out a little bit, but if you look online on my website, www.computerartman.com, you'll be able to see it in more detail. But overall, the grass just was the amazing part of this. But then also what happens in the colors in the sky, and it was reproduced well. Now, some of the yellows aren't hitting the way I want them to, so that'll be what I'll be painting in. And then I'll be working a little bit in the lighthouse and adding a little bit of depth in the sky and hitting a little bit of the highlights in the
Look
the
at that dusk evening sky and the fade to purple. That is just breathtaking.
And the ultimate in a painting is when you put 100 hours into any piece of artwork, by the time you're done, you're sick of it. I don't know how to describe it. You've been looking at it, it's no longer special. You've been working so much time and putting so much effort that you've seen it a million times because you've been working on it so hard that it's not special. Like when you print it out, you see it in its birth, and when you see it, it's like usually in this process there's some things missing. In this particular painting, there wasn't much missing, and when I can keep looking at it over and over and over again. It's similar to Cape Cod Magic. I love that painting too. I love this particular painting, but that is the true test. If you actually like your artwork after you put in the time and effort that you put into it, it really, you have something special.
It's kind of like your own version of the agony and the ecstasy.
Right.
Only you're not laying on your back in oil lamps. Painting frescoes on the ceiling of a church. But other than that, it's just like the agony and the ecstasy.
I mean, the composition in this isn't as special as some of the other ones. As far as Cape Cod Magic and the Serene Marine, it's not as this is much more subtle. But at the same time, it still has the nice feel that you need, where you get the pointing and the movement around the picture with no escape. So that's where we are with Cape Cod Magic. So the next time you see it, I'll be painting on it, probably in sometime in the near future, but that's where we are now. But what I'd like to do now is we're just going to move. I'll show you far, and we'll go from there.
We'll be right back. Okay, last time we talked about Poor Man's Zoom. We're too lazy to move the lights, so we've got Poor Man's Lighting. Take it away, Jeff.
Well, we have Poor Man's Lighting because the painting's the most important, not me. So anyways, this is far. This is your first view of far. And the reason why Far and Away are twin paintings is this is the view from afar. I walked down to the end of the beach and shot this lighthouse from away. Although it's completely contrived, the painting is of the same lighthouse front and back, from the north and the south. And this painting, the other painting where the grass was so prevalent, really the beach is, I wanted to, to make the beach the focal point, along with the lighthouse being also the focal point. Whereas in Away, the grass is really the strong point of the painting, and the sky, and then the lighthouse is kind of a background thing, where in my opinion in this one, because the lighthouse is shot from the front, the lighthouse is the most important thing, and the beach is dominant in the painting. It's a lot easier to paint sand than it is grass, because of, and then also in this particular painting, all right, let's get this going. Yeah, plus. What the great thing about it is it's more of the sand is more impressionistic, and you'll be able to see here with my classic gray background the coverage that I'm getting, and the time where if 80 hours happened in the sand, I've got about 2 so far in that about. So we're looking at about 10 hours to produce the sand. So this painting will go a lot quicker. And I do love the 2 paintings as the twins in the Cape Cod High Sky series. But once again, the sky is a very prevalent type thing. And then I'll give you a real quick shot of the last painting. There's no painting done on this, but the actual shot, it's set up. Let's just go like this. And that gives you a nice feel, which will lead into the next. This one, what's different about this one is there's actual people in it. And then what my goal is to start my second, after that is my second social media series, where I'm dealing mainly with people. But that's where we're at.
You were back to people. You've come full circle.
Exactly. And excuse my hoarse voice. It happens. There's not been a Super Bowl win because last time, but for whatever reason, I've got to talk loud at work or whatever. Every once in a while, it's pretty hoarse like this, but I'm feeling good, doing well. And I think that's another really good video blog, hey?
I think that's a wrap. Excellent job on the paintings, Jeff. We're looking forward to seeing them through to completion. Folks, have a good one. We'll try to talk with you at least one more time before Christmas. Bye-bye.
Great to see y'all.